There is a number buried inside federal recall data that the RV industry does not advertise. From 2015 through 2024, one company issued more safety recalls than General Motors, more than Ford, more than any automaker in the United States. That company was Forest River, a subsidiary of Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. And the cause was not defective parts from suppliers. Federal investigators found that nearly half those recalls traced back to assembly errors on the factory floor, workers using screws the wrong length, furnace flues installed crooked, fire hazards built into brand new vehicles. The owners had no idea. They signed the paperwork and drove home trusting that someone had checked the work. While millions of Americans are still financing new RVs on that same assumption, a smaller and quieter group has looked at the data and reached a different conclusion. The recreational vehicles built 20 years ago, available today for $15,000 to $25,000, often outperform the $100,000 units coming out of those same factories right now. Walk into any RV dealership today and the sticker shock is immediate. Entry-level Class A motorhomes start near $100,000. Mid-range diesel pushers run $200,000. The premium end pushes past $500,000. What salespeople do not discuss is what happens to that money over the following 5 years. New RVs lose 20 to 30% of their value the day they leave the lot. Not the week after, the day of. By year 3, the average motorhome has surrendered 40 to 60% of the original purchase price. A buyer who paid $120,000 3 years ago is sitting on something worth $65,000 to a dealer. That gap is money that is simply gone. And it gets worse when you factor in financing. Most buyers are not paying cash. They are paying interest on a loan for an asset that is simultaneously losing value faster than the principal balance drops. By the time the typical 5-year loan is halfway done, the owner often owes more than the rig is worth on the open market. Dealers call this being upside down. The buyer calls it a vacation vehicle, and statistically, the rig they bought is one of the most defect-prone vehicles manufactured in America. To understand how a $100,000 vehicle falls apart on the third camping trip, you have to spend some time in Elkhart County, Indiana. This region produces roughly half of every RV sold in the United States and close to 80% of global supply. Unlike car factories, where robotics handle most of the build, RV manufacturing is still largely done by hand. Workers move down the line attaching plumbing, running wiring, bolting appliances, and fitting cabinetry with power tools in real time. The pay structure governing this work is called piece rate. Workers earn a base wage plus bonuses when they hit their weekly production targets. The faster they move, the more they earn. Think about what that incentive creates on a floor where someone is hand-assembling the interior of a vehicle that will eventually carry a family down a highway. When a pandemic-era demand surge hit between 2020 and 2022 and factories needed bodies to fill lines immediately, that system became a liability. Dealers reported they could identify units assembled by workers with a single week of experience from the defect patterns alone. Not a month, 1 week. Those workers were learning their trade inside a vehicle someone was about to finance for 15 years. The results show up in the recall database. Awnings deploying at highway speed, water tanks falling off the undercarriage, control boards shorting out in ways no independent mechanic can diagnose without proprietary software. Warranty claims denied on technicalities. Service appointments booked 3 months out. The vehicle that was supposed to represent freedom becomes a source of ongoing financial damage. Now here is the number that changes everything, and it does not appear on any dealer's window sticker. Between 15 and 20 years of an RV's life, the depreciation curve flattens to nearly zero. A Fleetwood from 2002, a Monaco Dynasty from 2005, and a Coach House Platinum built before 2009 have already absorbed the catastrophic early losses that new buyers are still ahead of. Their value has found a floor. Buy one today and sell it in 5 years, and you will likely recover most of what you paid. That equation does not exist anywhere in the new RV market. The losses are still in front of new buyers, not behind them. Certified inspectors point to these same pre-2009 builds as consistently superior to current models, with heavier aluminum framing, fewer proprietary electronics, and systems a mechanically literate owner can service with tools from a hardware store. That repairability is not something manufacturers advertise. The modern RV industry's service revenue model depends on the opposite. Here is what the listings will not tell you. The $6,000 Class A looks compelling until you price what it needs before it safely leaves the driveway. RV tires degrade from ultraviolet exposure and ozone cracking regardless of tread depth. A sidewall date code older than 6 years means replacement regardless. That alone runs $2,000 to $3,000. House batteries are almost certainly at end of life, another $1,000. Roof membrane inspection and sealing adds more, and that assumes the previous owner actually maintained the appliances, the seals, and the slide mechanisms, which many did not, because the cost of doing it right on a rig they were planning to sell did not pencil out for them. The deferred maintenance gets transferred to you at the moment of purchase, invisibly, wrapped inside a price that looks like a bargain. The $6,000 rig becomes $15,000 to $18,000 before you have driven 100 miles. The realistic entry price for a roadworthy older motorhome is $15,000 to $25,000. A verified 2002 diesel pusher sits around $20,000 to $30,000. Still a fraction of $300,000 new, but only if you go in with accurate numbers rather than the ones on the listing. The buying process requires discipline, not expertise. Target units between 15 and 25 years old from brands with documented quality histories. Walk away from any exterior wall showing waviness or bubbling. That pattern traces back to water intrusion, which is structural damage, not cosmetic. Soft flooring near slides or wheel wells tells the same story. The roof is the single most important system on any older RV. Everything beneath it depends on it holding. Check the membrane, the seams, and every penetration point. Vents, antennas, AC units before you look at anything else. Before you commit, hire a certified NRVIA inspector for $300 to $500. That fee is not a luxury. It is the cheapest insurance available against inheriting a problem the seller understood and chose not to mention. Test every system under load. Run the generator for a full hour, not 5 minutes. Generators that have sat unused for extended periods will often run briefly and then fail, and that is information you want before the purchase, not after. Cycle all slides. Operate every appliance. Ask for maintenance records. The sellers who kept the roof sealed kept everything else healthy too. This is not a decision made from nostalgia or a tight budget. You are buying an older RV because the depreciation work is finished and cannot be done to you again. You are buying repairability in an era when the industry's business model depends on complexity you cannot service yourself. 500 recalls from a single manufacturer in a decade, nearly half from human error. The rigs that have been on the road for 20 years already passed the test. Every mile is evidence that someone built them right and someone else kept them that way. That is not a gamble, that is a track record. If this kind of analysis is why you are here, subscribe. New videos every week.